5 months. We've been trapped. We've been trapped in 2 arenas for the past 40 days between Melania and this piece. Let's get out of here. These counters out of here. Wait, that's not it, Ronnie. That's not how I remember her looking. She was more...
The battle is over, I see.
I can't see under the hat. Look at him bending the knee. What is that? The piece of driftwood. This is the original tree. It's the original tree. Ew, what's coming out of the legs? What's coming out of there? Ew. Wait, it just disappeared. Headless? Oh, she's the one with all the hands. I thought Ronnie was the one with the banana hat. What is... That's not what Radon looked like.
I do solemnly swear
To never
to
use
every
resin?
living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars.
DLC?
1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon.
DLC already?
Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond.
Yo, Saruman's eye.
Into fear,
That's her eye.
doubt, and loneliness,
UWU face?
as the path stretcheth into darkness.
Look at, yo, we got there's new gems in the chess piece. Look at that. Oh, he missed a screenshot. Hey, where's my T-tours? All right, we gotta get some good T-tours here, chat. What if we had to fight her? Background UWU. Yo, she has the same
Well
hair.
then, shall we?
Same hair as the Jedi. Chat.
My fair consort eternal.
Is she asking?
Then touch the demon in...
T-tours fade out. Is that what chat is? This is not an 18+ stream. Where's the rest of the ending? Where's the rest of it? That's it? No cutscene? 5 months? No cutscene? Nothing? No explanation of what just happened? I skipped it? That was the cutscene? There nothing happened. Wait, so what did we didn't grab the ring? 5 months, no cutscene. Wait, did we turn down the ring? You picked no Elden Lord? What do you mean? We gave her the throne? I can't say that word on Twitch. Are you kidding me? Wait, so what happened? Wait, so we're not the Elden Lord? I don't understand. There's Chad, are they gonna marvel us here and give us something after this? No? I feel like every Souls ending they give you like, hey, here's what happens. Why in chat for the Elden Lord and if Ronnie is? She said what happened. We started a Age of Stars. Space Souls incoming. Thanks, George R. R. Martin. She's the Elden Lord, and we're the right hand Marty. We're the hand of the Queen. Thank you. Can we please get some dang packs? El Potato Tower. Thanks for the 25 gifted. I appreciate it. I'm confused. Wait, so there's 3 endings. This clearly, chat. This wasn't the best. This wasn't the best ending, right? There's 4 endings. Why did we pick that one?
In the end, the real ending is the one we all wrote together.
You're not wrong. There's 6 endings. This is the best ending. Nothing happened. That's okay. I won't let the ending. Maybe I just need to watch it again.
Married to Marika and he was Elden Lord, and now Ranni has Marika's power and Cerso is married to her. Ergo Cerso is Elden Lord.
Chat, so if you had your game open, what popped up on the bottom when we beat it? Why be an Elden Lord when you can be a Space Lord? This is the best ending? There's 10 endings? Someone in your group just became a lord. Age of Stars ending. So Vaati gave us permission. So we're gonna watch what Vaati says. There's 6 endings. There's 3 endings, but one of them has a few variants. A fan theory is that every ending leads to a different FromSoft game. No.
No thanks.
Please?
No thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no thanks.
There's 3 main endings. Okay. Yo, these are the people that played. Mature voice. Godskin Nobles? They had a voice? Trolls? But like for real, no memes, like there's no like cutscene after the credits. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? So you're telling me at the end of Cerso Yeet, he turned into he got launched into the galaxy now? This is the chaos ending? Chat, how would you describe this ending in normie terms? Space husband? I can't say that word on Twitch. This is the good ending. How are you still playing this game? Weeb ending? Sad ending. Happily ever after. Okay, so you marry Ranni with her multiple hands and you go live in space together? Best slow runner on Twitch. Hey, can I take that? Can I take that? Chat, I'm gonna put that underneath the Twitch channel. Best slow runner on Twitch. I didn't say it, you said it. That's good, thank you. That's good marketing right there. That's good marketing. Thank you, whoever said that. Your Twitch name is gonna show up right there. So my question is here, like when the DLC comes out, I don't want to horse around and not play Cerso Yeet. So like, can we save this? Like, if we new game plus and we go into the DLC, are we gonna go in overpowered? Just respec. Whoa, shut it down. I'm glad you didn't miss it. Duping a save file. How could you go in overpowered? You have no VIG? Because we're gonna respec for NG+. Dupe the save. I just don't want to do anything now that ruins the save. Nobody knows anything about the DLC? Good thing I signed an NDA. Just joking, I didn't. I already did the card drop, so you had to be here when I hit the card drop button, like right at 30 seconds after we beat it. Do not click NG Plus now. Okay. The airdrop will just show up in your account next week. Yo, thank you guys for being here, by the way. Man, what a journey. Fontworks. We need to get the Fontworks. Thank you guys for being here. Man, what a run. What a run. This game's been in development since 1997. No wonder why it's so good. I didn't. What do you mean low? That's what it said. What do we do here, chat? We go to New Game Plus, right? We start New Game and allow us to respec. Okay. Begin Journey 2. Why are they calling it Journey 2? If you do not start over now, you can choose to begin Journey 2 later at the Table of Lost Grace and Round Table Hold. So we want to start Journey 2. Right? It'll allow us to respec. Hit the no button or the yes button? Yes, no, no. Yes, no? Don't choose the no button. Okay. So that's yes. All right. I had to get one more, Chad. I had to get one more. I had to get one more in, please. I had to get one more in. Begin Journey 2. No. I had to get one more in. 50,000. Chat. I said it couldn't be done. But it could be done. Chat, it may be the last time you ever see this guy. Don't look him. Don't look him in the face, chat. Don't. This may be it. If you've been here for Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, every boss. No optional bosses. Every boss, if the boss was in the game, he was felled by this character. The greatest Souls characters of all time. Look at him blinking. Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. Bloodborne. Sekiro, aka Dark Souls Light. Demon Souls PS3. Demon Souls PS5. And now Elden Ring.
Oh! Elden Ring!
Only one thing left to do. Thank you, chat. Thanks for being here. You have missed bosses? I've missed one boss. What do you mean? No boss. No, we defeated every boss. Thanks for being here for the ride, chat. Never forget it. Alright, now we're going to watch some lore videos. I'm not going to do any respecking. If you want to help with the respec journey and also how to do a dupe save, I'm not going to do that live on stream. We're going to watch some lore videos now. Go to the Discord and then go to right here. There's a new room in the Discord called Resin Full Build.
Thank you. Can we please get some dang packs?
Go in there
in the chat
and tell us what stats we want on the respec and whatever else we need to do. I'll be and how to dupe save. I'll be checking this out this weekend. But we won't do this stuff online because I don't want to put you guys to sleep. Let's watch some lore videos here. So right now, here's our order of operations. You guys make the call first. H to watch Hobbs getting killed in Elden Ring. L for lore videos. Your call. We're gonna do both. It's just a matter of order in which we do it. And while you guys are voting, in case you missed it, here's what's next.
And while you guys are voting, in case you missed it.
How do you get out of jail cell? Made completely out of Melania. Standing in between you and the Cuphead DLC. One R1 poke at a time. You know? Get out of here! It's over! It's over! It's over! All right, Chad. Also, this is another personal ask. If you are a Cuphead aficionado, please send me a DM either on Twitter or Discord, because we're gonna play Cuphead. We're gonna play Cuphead from the beginning through the DLC, but with the equivalent of no vig. I just need to figure out what that is. I'm not super familiar with Cuphead. We only played it once, but I loved it. So send me. I need help on structuring how we're gonna play that game. So please send me a DM.
Welcome, brand new subscriber.
All right, Hob, Elden Ring. So I'm assuming Hob gets hit. Hob loses Elden Ring. No hit on final boss. I've been waiting a lifetime to see this video. An absolute lifetime. Because I've heard about it. I've heard about it. Also, final numbers for those aficionados. 365 hours, 31 minutes, 42 seconds, minus 20 hours. Level 155. Put that in the books. 1 year in the game. Yeah, just a heads up. Just a heads up. I haven't seen this video, but you may be exposed to some high-level expletives. So if that's the case, you may want to come back in a couple minutes when we watch the lore videos. All right. Chad, I think maybe the USB extender was the difference in that fight. Oops, let me get this out of here. Sorry, guys. All right, chat. Ladies and gentlemen, we've waited a lifetime to see this. I can assure you with 100% no copium. I've heard about this years ago, months ago, that Hob, in case you're unfamiliar with the Happy Hob, no hit these bosses in the game. Gets down to the last boss, and then this happens. I don't know what this is, but you can see the title right here.
Welcome, brand new subscriber.
Hob jumps the ring.
Absolute trash.
We don't jump the ring here, chat. What is he doing? What even is that? What is that orb? I haven't seen any of this stuff in Elden Ring. What is that orb?
Oh, fuck, I'm dead.
Man, I feel bad. Normally, like when Hob like dies, there's a reaction, and so you're like, okay, you know he's playing into the bit. I mean, this is a this is a look of true despair. I mean, like that to me, that's like Hob out of character. That's like IRL Hob. I don't know IRL Hob, but I'd imagine that's what he looks like.
Call it a draw. Next run.
That's pretty calm.
If you're wondering, it doesn't count. I fucking died.
You didn't die.
I can't fucking believe it, dude.
All right, let's check out some of Hob's clip. Chad, I've I've been self-deprived of Hob because we never beat Elden Ring. So we didn't get a chance to see any of his clips. Too shocked. I mean, yeah, it's like just flat out shockticity. All right, let's see. Hob videos, clips. Let's go top 30 days. No hit run. Play at 0.25 speed. I mean, look, I'm a simple individual. You give us instructions, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not even matching up to his mouth.
Yeah.
Go past year, I got you. Past year. All time, okay. God run complete. God run. Lost to dialogue. Can you go past year? You can't. We're looking for stuff 16 days ago. Let's watch the no hit. Good for Hob. Good for Hob. Did he jump those again? Why is it in Pepe? I kind of don't like that.
RL1 no hit run! Let's fucking go! God run 3 next, chat! Oh shit! Oh shit! And it only took 23 years.
Wait, why is his health low? Scammed? Oh, you do. Oh, it's self-D. My only thing with this Hob, I'm talking to you. I hope you get a chance to see this. I got one question for you, right? Super happy for you. We don't jump the ring, we roll the ring. That's besides the point.
RL1 no hit run!
Why is this area towards the camera? And all your other championship runs, it's not that. It's like, it's you. The focus isn't there, but you're putting the focus there with no button. Like, I don't understand that. Like, he looks like look. I'm not commenting on streamer's appearance, but the angle makes him look like a chess piece. Just saying. I'm just asking. I'm just wondering if that was intended or accident. But I'm happy for him. I really am. I really am. I prefer seeing Hob get hit personally. So let's find some of those clips. All right. What do we got here? So we're looking for some that are not 2 years. 2 months. Elden Ring, no hit, world's last. Is this a no hit? No hit, world's last. What is that weapon? What's world's last? That's Azure Comet. Why is he just standing there? What?
That is new tech.
You don't even have to do anything?
Elden Ring no hit run!
You literally don't have to do anything. We told you not to jump. All right, chat, we missed a couple. Where's some good ones? No hit 2 years ago. Hob died due to greed. 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. 6 days ago. 6 years ago. 2 months. 2 years, 9 months. Last year. Where are they, chat? 4 days ago? I can't even watch this game. What is this game?
No! No, you fucking whore! How?
All right. Let's all right, we're looking for Elden Ring poster. Elden Ring poster. Feet only, no hit run. There's got to be some. I know there's some good home runs. Chad, if you got any good Hob clips from Elden
All
Ring?
of you guys, thank you for the subs.
Wait, can I zoom into the tier?
You've given me everything. You've given me Megan. You've given me the children.
Is he
You are
really
everything
crying?
in my life? Oh, Megan, you're killing me.
Is he really crying?
I love you.
Who? Me or the chat?
He was
Chat,
crying?
not you.
Why? What happened?
I'll tell you I love you later. Chat, I love you. Subscribe tomorrow when I'm sober, and I will pretend tomorrow that this didn't happen. But the truth is, I love each and every one of you.
Why was he crying?
What?
Did he win or something?
I love you, chat. Good night.
Let them see the tears.
Be happy.
I'm ending it.
I love you, chat.
Thank God.
Did he
You're the
win or
best.
something? Like, why is he crying? Like, did he like beat the game?
Do you love me?
I love you too. I love everyone.
Ha.
If you loved us, you would have answered our Discord call, Hob. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, Hob. It's okay. All right, let's go play it up. FML and clip it. That sounds like one we want to watch. What shirt is he wearing? This is early on. No, I don't remember this boss, but
No, dude! Clip it! Fuck my life and clip it.
his shirt broke. Yeah, I'm surprised. I feel like there were some good hits we missed. Did we miss any? Stag, the third one is a good one? Okay. Why does it keep giving us like bad version here? Here we go. Who is this? Oh,
No! Oh no. Oh my god, the run is dead.
why?
Oh.
He didn't get hit? He didn't get hit? Yo, Moog, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. He didn't get hit, though. Stagger counts as a hit? Keck Leo? Man, look at Radon. You have to fight Radon to beat the game?
I don't believe it! That makes no sense. That makes no fucking sense, dude. No sense.
Hob Hawaiian shirt hits a little different. No, but it's the route. Radon or Renala. All right, let's watch some lore videos. Hob. Get to go back and lurk some Hob stuff now. Yo, Moog, thanks for the raid and the host. All right, chat, so we're going to watch a lore video here. So what Elden Stars? What's the lore video we want to watch? Elden Stars. Vaati? What's the name of the... Watch the clip next to the first one. I'm already off the page. Elden Ring lore explained. All right, by the way, check out...
Our story doesn't begin in...
We have permission from VaatiVids, by the way. Big thanks. We spam his YouTube channel. VaatiVids to watch any, all lore videos in the game. I just don't want to spoil the other endings. But man, I played the final build, but I don't want to spoil it. Pre-release, 10 essential beginner's guide, powerful start, get overpowered, 15 more discoveries, Elden Ring lore, 5.9. Wait, you know what? Let's watch before we do this. We'll go Elden Ring trailer, like the opening trailer. Because don't people say like the game's spoiled in the opening trailer? Is this what we want to watch? Ew. Can we watch it without that on there? That's not your trailer. Please fade out or we're not watching it. We're not watching it. Is this is it? Okay.
Peggy 16.
That's what we're watching. Okay, here we go. Because when we started to watch this, people were like, spoilers, 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 spoilers in chat. Let me, speaking to chat, let me get you up here. So we're reacting to the opening trailer because it made no sense.
An age ago.
Yo, Ronnie, we know people now.
But when I recall, I see it true.
Okay, Ronnie, are we 1 for 1?
On a night of wintry fog.
This isn't the opening trailer? What's the opening trailer? The opening trailer is the one they play at the beginning. Right? What's that one called? Watch both? Yeah, we'll watch this. Okay, that's Limgrave. We're 2 for 2.
The Rune of Death was stolen.
Rune of Death. What's the Rune of Death? Who is that?
And the demigods began to fall.
Chat, who is that? Who is that? Is that Radon? That's Radon.
Starting with Godwyn the Golden.
Oh, that's why he's gold.
Queen Marika was driven to the brink.
Queen Marika's banana hat. That's Melkabeth, right? Melkabeth?
The shattering ensued, a war that wrought only darkness. The Elden Ring was broken. But by whom?
The Elden Ring was
Why?
broken. I'm not trolling, chat. Why would I troll? I'm trying to learn. Andor, Landor, that's the Gold City. What's the name of the Gold City in the game? Lendel. There's Lendel. That's
What
Lendel,
could
right?
The demigods ever hope to win by warring?
We know who that is. Wait, why are they together? He's got both swords there. Where's the horse?
The conqueror of the stars, General Radon.
Okay, there's Radon. They're fighting? Who wins?
And the Blade of Michela, Melania the Seventh. These two were the mightiest to remain.
I never saw this
Not
video.
always in combat.
We never saw this video. Wait, she's stuffing that in her arm? Is this in the game?
But there would be no victor.
I never saw this, chat. Why does he have the bloomin' onion on him? This is not
And
in the
so,
game?
We inhabit a fractured world, awaiting the arrival of the Elden Lord.
This is not in the game.
Unless, of course, thou shouldst take the crown.
Story trailer. So we want what? Opening cinematic? Cinematic? What do we want? That was a promotional trailer. No one even knows what that means. Opening cinematic. Right here. This is it, right? This is how the game starts. No?
It happened in
This one. But this one has branding on it. I don't want to watch that one. This one? This one. 4K. So this is when you start the game, this is what you see. Fallen Leaves tell a story. We're going to pay attention here. This is like you pay attention to the study guide after you take the test. Who is that? So Chad said there's secrets in this. Like, because we were watching this and people are like, don't tell him. Don't tell him. It's spoiled. There's Lendell.
In our home, across the fog, the lands between.
That was Radon. Radagon. There's the Uber tree. Wait. I'm just using intel here. That's Marika, but also like we saw this, but without bits.
Now, Queen Marika the Eternal.
So that's Queen Marika. Do we ever see her in the game or no?
To be found.
Is that why people are saying spoilers?
The Black Knives. Godwyn the Golden was first.
Okay, so I know that's Godwin. That's the gold guy, right? Who sent these people? Who sent these people? The Black Knives. Ronnie sent those. Multi-hands? Multi-hands. Why did she do that?
Soon, Marika's offspring.
So she had a bunch of kids.
Claimed the shard.
So Ronnie had a bunch of kids. Wait, so are we the stepdad of all the kids we killed? No. Wait, she said Ronnie had a bunch of kids.
Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all.
Renala had kids. But that's not what they said. They said Marika's offspring.
Demigods all claimed the shards of the
Marika's kids. Oh, okay, that's Ronnie. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Marika is the statue lady. Okay. Radagon.
taint of their newfound strength.
Wait, who is that? That's Mog. Hidden lore. No one. Mog? Mog is a kid of. Mog is a kid?
Of their newfound strength. Triggered the shattering.
What's that guy's name again? The Snake Man? What's Snake? Rykard. Okay.
A war from which no lord arose.
Okay, it was a draw. A never known defeat.
A war leading.
That's a great picture. Why did they? Why didn't they? How come this? How come they didn't fight to the death?
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished. Ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all.
Man, this like what a man. Don't even talk about game of the decade. Who is that? Tiger Man? Who's Tiger Man? That's Margot.
Oralu, chieftain of the Badlands.
Okay. That is. Oh, we had that mask. Sunman.
The ever-brilliant Goldmoth.
Wait, we never fight. How come we never fight this person? How come? Yeah, how come we? How come they're talking about him? He's just a guy, yeah, but they're tarnished. What's tarnished mean?
The deathbed companion.
Fia is the one that gave us the baldachin. Fia gave us the baldachin hug. Okay, we're getting there. She's tarnished is someone like us.
The loathsome dung eater.
See, like, why are they featuring all these NPCs?
And Sir Gideon Ofnir. The all-knowing.
I thought we'd fight these guys. But so are all these people dead? Because that guy was in a coffin. They're all, so if you're dead, then you become tarnished?
One other whom grace would again bless.
Oh, so we were dead the whole time?
Of no
I didn't know that. We're dead the whole game?
cross the fog to the lands between. To stand.
You skipped Dung Eater? No, we beat Dung Eater, Potato.
And become the Elden Lord.
You literally play as the dead guy in every FromSoft game? What about Humanities? Alright, so let's go. Alright, so we got everything we needed there. Let's go to Vaati now. Okay, so we have permission from VaatiVid. Be sure to check them out on YouTube. We'll subscribe.
Our story
now.
doesn't begin in the land.
Okay, so I think we go Elden Ring lore explained, because that's got 6 million views.
Our story doesn't begin in the lands between. It begins in the cosmos, far away, with an outer god called the Greater Will.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
There are a lot of outer gods mentioned in Elden Ring. You can think of these kind of like the great ones of Bloodborne. They're distant beings. They're all-powerful and they're quite unknowable by design. But many of these outer gods want to make their presence felt in the world.
How does he know this?
Greater Will, maybe most of all. To this end, it sent a golden star hurtling towards the lands between. The Elden Star's incantation tells us that this golden star was buried.
Chat, real quick. Why in chat if you're already confused, and in chat if no? Okay, let's translate this together, okay? Translate this together. There's a bunch of Martys who want to be Elden Lord. Okay.
Bearing a beast, an Elden beast. The Elden Remembrance calls it a vassal beast of the Greater Will.
Vassal?
If you didn't know, a vassal is someone who holds land on behalf of their overlord. Obviously, this is fitting in this case, because the Elden beast occupied the lands between on behalf of the Greater Will.
Chat, what's the Greater Will? Chat, what's Greater Will? Is a space god. Okay.
And was a living incarnation of the concept of order. As such, this beast would later become the Elden Ring. The Elden...
So, Elden Beast was the Elden Ring? The beast was the ring?
Was a living incarnation of the concept of order. As such, this beast would later become the Elden Ring.
Okay.
The Elden Ring itself is made up of runes of power, some great, some small, that together represent a sort of logic for the world to follow. Thus, the Elden Ring represents order. The true nature of this order is a subject of constant debate and
So Elden Ring is like the law of the land. Okay.
research undergone by fundamentalists. But two of the key fundamentals are the laws of causality and regression. You can
We know all chat, we know all about the laws of regression. All right. What does causality mean?
think of the law of causality as cause and effect, where actions have consequences, and those consequences are new causes that branch out into infinity. These are the relationships between things. Then there's the law of regression that states that all things eternally yearn to converge and return to their roots.
Okay.
Fittingly, then, the Elden Ring is housed within the Erd Tree, which towers over the lands between.
Is that true? So we fought the Elden Beast inside of the Elden Tree? How did we get inside there? You walked in?
But it's very important to stress that life in the lands between did not begin with the Erd Tree, the Elden Ring, or the Elden Beast. No, the lands between were occupied well before the Greater Will came. There were other beings here. There were other factions here.
Godskin
There were
nobles?
other gods here.
One-eyed shield.
And there was even another great tree here.
There was
before
another
the
tree?
Erd Tree.
There
And
were
this is
two
where
Uber trees?
A huge twist regarding the Erd Tree comes in. So, there are incantations in the game called aspects of the Crucible.
What chat? What's an incantation? Chat, what's an incantation? Is that a spell? Spell. Faith spell. Okay.
According to their descriptions,
People
these
G.
are manifestations of the Erd Tree's primal vital energies. And I quote, "They are an aspect of the primordial crucible where all life was once blended together." But how could all life be blended together in the Erd Tree if the Erd Tree appeared after life existed? Well, there can only be one answer, right? That the Erd Tree is a parasite, and it took over a tree that existed here before.
Chat. Why in chat if you think this is this true? It was a parasite? The Erd Tree was a parasite?
This ancient tree was called the Great Tree. So
Wait, real quick, is this considered canon, by the way? Is what he's saying is considered canon? Okay.
the Great Tree was almost certainly the location of this primordial crucible, and it must have been a very powerful primordial force for the Greater Will to have commandeered. It might even be the reason the lands between is important to the Greater Will in the first place. It also explains why spells and enemies related to the Great Tree's crucible would eventually be looked down upon. For example, the Knot Talisman is fashioned from a knotted vestige of the crucible, and it was considered a signifier of the divine in ancient times, but is now increasingly disdained as an impurity as civilization has advanced. Enemies related to the Crucible are the Omen, the Misbegotten, and the Crucible Knights, and all three of them would be shunned, enslaved, or imprisoned.
Let me give you a translation. Crucible Knights, Tree Warriors. Okay? We're going to do this our way, okay? We're going to take this. This is like master's level thesis. We're going to put it down into how we know how to do it, all right? So let me get the we're going to do Elden lore really explained. No, check that. Not really explained. That implies that this is not real. We're going to go Elden lore explained for first graders, okay? So our cited MLA is from Vaati. So we're going to really simplify this, okay? So step one, give me a crayon. And then you have the first thing, Space Lord, okay? The Space Lord, we'll start at the top and work our way down. Space Lord created the Elden Ring, okay? Which is also known as the Elden Beast. It's inside of there. Chat, are we accurate? Okay, so this is just a little. This is technically inside of there. Okay, we're on pace right now. Okay, and then we skipped a little bit, but we have tree lords. We have to get a couple factions here. Okay, couple factions. We have the trees. So the lords of the tree over here. Okay, hear me out. So you'll know that's Lord of the Trees. They were looked down upon. So let's call this like bad. Okay. Okay, good. We're gonna pass this class here, chat.
Those who speak for the Erd Tree don't want you to know its roots, so to speak. According to the spell, protection of the Erd Tree, in the beginning everything was in opposition to the Erd Tree, but through countless victories in war, it became the embodiment of order.
In Marika's own words, the Erd Tree governs all. The choice is thine.
We skipped one important thing here, chat. The Erd Tree, real quick, tell me I'm right or wrong. The Omega Erd Tree, this is the Omega, is really just an amoeba parasite. Okay. Okay. So we're on pace right now.
Become one with the order, or divest thyself of it, to wallow at the fringes, a powerless upstart.
But the Greater Will needed more than a big tree.
Yeah, who's
it needed
this?
Loyal agents in the lands between. To this end, it has the Two Fingers, who are its envoys. The Two Fingers heirloom has a weird picture of them, but it reads, of course, fingers cannot speak, yet these are eloquent. Persistently they wriggle, spelling out mysteries in the air. Thus did we gain the words of our faith.
So, Two Fingers, right hand, no pun intended, right hand of the Erd Tree. Okay?
These words are interpreted by the finger readers. These are the undying old crones that you would have found throughout the lands between. They pass down the wisdom of the Two Fingers, or at least they used to.
Your fingers, please, your fingers. I can read them.
Most of them appear to have lost their purpose, and they're desperate to read your fingers and tell you annoying riddles, since their two fingers are likely dead. And yes, of course, there are multiple sets of Two Fingers. You would have found their corpses on the tops of the divine towers.
What?
Atop these towers, you loot the fingers in order to activate the true power.
Did we see those in the game?
Specifically,
you never activated a great rune? So we never saw those.
Though you are giving benediction back to your great rune. You're taking a
Did we see him or
back
not?
from the two dead fingers, essentially. This is just one of many blessings that the Two Fingers can bestow.
Who is that? Oh, that's the little doll.
And my point is kind of that the Two Fingers clearly have more than just influence. They have real power on some level. The Greater Will needs these powerful envoys and agents because, while it's obviously incredibly powerful, it does seem limited by a few things. First is space. The Greater Will didn't come to the lands between itself. It sent an Elden Beast to do its bidding.
Chat, hear me out. DLC. You go fight the Greater Will. Bingo.
Instead. Second,
DLC Greater Will.
There's a moment later in the game where your pair of Two Fingers go still, because they're forced to commune with the Greater Will for guidance.
When they are finished.
Wait, so if the fingers have to circumvent the tree and go right to the will, they're not happy about that?
The fingers will again offer their guidance. But thousands, if not tens of thousands, of moons must first pass. No matter for me. But you, how will you ever manage to wait?
So the Greater Will needs a physical manifestation of order. It needs envoys to convey its will, but what it also needs is a god. Introducing Marika the Eternal. I have this
What even is this? What is this?
Utterly enormous mind map of Elden Ring's lore, and there's a reason.
No. You think this? No. This is not Elden Ring. This is not my Elden Ring. There's no way. There's no way. You think this is how they made the game?
She's at the center. She's essentially the equivalent of Gwyn from Dark Souls.
Related to Dark Souls. Told you, chat. It's the same game.
Except, unlike Gwyn, Marika didn't just crawl out of the dark and find power. To an extent, it seems like she earned it. We don't know much about her origins, except that she is of the Newman race, which is...
Newman?
No, thanks.
Newman.
It's actually an origin that you can choose in the character selection screen. Newman come from outside the lands between, and are supposed descendants of denizens of another world, long-lived but seldom born. At some point, Marika was chosen as an Empyrean. What is an Empyrean? Well, an Empyrean is a being chosen by the fingers as a...
Okay. So we have a new clan here, chat. So underneath this right here, chat, is you have the fingers. Okay? They work for the Erd tree, aka the parasite, and then you have the Imperials. Okay? So it's basically like, this is the house, this is the general contractor, these are the plumbers. Okay, we're there. We're here.
As a candidate for godhood. As an Empyrean, Marika received the aid of a shadow to do her bidding. So what is a shadow?
Oh, that's Malkabeth.
Well, it's a wolf, shadow-bound to its Empyrean by the two fingers. Luna Princess Rani is another example of an Empyrean with a shadow-bound beast. You would have met.
That is new tech.
You don't see that in too many games.
At Blythe. These creatures are the Empyrean's very own shadow. They are completely loyal to their needs, and by definition,
Okay, hear me out. This is maybe getting a little too deep, but the Empyreans have guards, and they're, just for lack of a better term, we'll just like draw a dog's face. So they have like furry guards. Okay.
Capable of treachery. Marika's shadow was a beast called Malakath.
So this fur guard guarded Radagon.
Empyrean uses their shadow in different ways.
His body knows.
Marika's sole need of her shadow was as a vessel to lock away.
So when we beat this fur lord, then we could go fight Radagon. Wait, does Radagon fight open after you beat this?
Destined death. So what is destined death? Well, according to Enya, it's the Rune of Death.
The Rune of Death goes by two names. The other is Destined Death.
We mentioned earlier that the Elden Ring is made up of runes, and at some point, maybe when she was chosen as a god, Marika plucked the Rune of Death from the Elden Ring. She gave the Rune of Death to Malakath, her totally loyal shadow, who
I don't know if we can beat this guy again.
Imbued with this rune. It's kind of genius, really. In a single act, she removed the concept of death from the lands between, while also commanding total control of death.
What's
through
Melania
her
doing
shadow,
there?
who could deliver it at her whim. Now, some of you might be asking, if death is removed from the lands between, how come I can kill this dog? First off, shame on you. Second, from a lore point of view, that dog isn't really dead. It's simply in the process of its spirit, or its soul, returning to the Erd tree. Catacomb dungeons, for example, are specifically constructed near the roots of the Great Tree for this reason.
For resin purposes?
The Erd tree can reabsorb their ashes back into it.
Okay, I'll buy that.
This process replaced the concept of a death that you were destined to have.
I'll buy that, chat.
But this
Chat,
random
why if you
spirit
buy that
outside
and
of
if no?
Catacomb dungeons says it best. As another example of this theory, when you kill a major boss, you receive a remembrance of them. These are spirits, and they are hewn into the Erd Tree. In this way, thanks to the Erd Tree's grace, their spirits are immortalized, in a sense. This new form of death also explains what's happening when you summon spirits.
From ash.
Wait, what the heck is that? What the heck?
Return to the Erd Tree.
What the heck is that? You can bring in people from Dark Souls? What is that? What did that guy just do?
Also explains
what is that, a book?
Happening when you summon spirits.
From ash and return to the Erd Tree.
However, some spirits never return to the Erd Tree, and they rise within death as corpses or skeletons instead.
Spirit summoning.
So this was the new order. And it's important to stress that it was in this moment, when the Rune of Death was removed.
You missed out on so much going unga bunga.
When Destined Death was taken, this is when Order became the Golden Order.
Yo.
The forbidden shadow plucked from the Golden Order upon its creation.
Specifically, this was Marika's Golden Order. So not only...
And chat, we never really fight. We don't fight Marika, right? We don't fight Marika.
Did she become a god and a vessel for the Elden Ring, she became renowned as Marika the Eternal for her removal of Destined Death. It was a huge part of her character and her reign as well. However, Marika had more than just death to
She was
conquer.
leader
She
of the
had
Gold?
wars to fight, as the world was occupied by many forces that could threaten her Golden Order. There was war with the Storm Lord, who likely ruled over Stormvale, and there was a war with the Giants, who were masters of a flame that could burn the Erd Tree.
Okay.
There was war with the Ancient Dragons, who incidentally had...
So this is how they work in all the other enemies. You're fighting all of Marika's enemies. Okay.
Stones that could twist time and thus slay a god. And finally, there was war brewing with the Carrion royalty.
That's the Resin Lords, right? Those are the Resin Lords. Carrions are blue resin.
Who had previously obeyed laws which contravened the Golden Order.
Okay.
Thus, sort of similar to how the Greater Will needed an Empyrean to enforce its will, Marika herself needed someone to wage war.
Okay. Marika is not chat. Here's where the confusion is. Where is Marika in this? Is Marika not tied to this tree? Marika's out here. Marika's an Emp. Okay, that's. I think she's pretty important to draw here. Marika is. Whoop, I'll make her purple. Make her Emp colored, just so we know. Zoop. 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 Okay.
So, there was to be a husband, a consort, an Elden Lord. The man chosen was Horalu.
Who is this guy? Who is this?
A ferocious warrior who became...
We never fought any guy with blood all over him. Was this Mog? Was this Mog with human skin?
The Lord of the Battlefield. His crown was warranted with strength, and while it was for this strength that Marika
He never looked
married
like
him,
that.
he was also required to take a vow to
Is that
conduct
Mog?
himself as a lord. To suppress the ceaseless lust for battle that raged within, Horalu took the beast.
Yeah, that's how I
regent
remember
Sarosh
him.
Upon
He
his
didn't have
back.
red all over
You'll
him.
notice this is another example of a beast being given for the purpose of serving order. Thus, in this moment, he went from being Horalu, warrior, to Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, consort to Queen Marika.
I thought, what?
You'll notice this is another example of a beast being given for the purpose of serving order. Thus, in this moment, he went from being Horalu,
Horalu is just normie,
warrior, to Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, consort to Queen Marika, and a certified demigod.
So when he was a normie, he was Horalu, and then Marika tabbed him and said, hey, be my number one. Okay. That's why he got the Fur Lord. Okay, we're there.
Godfrey and Marika had 3 demigod children together.
Okay, I think he's important enough to put him on here now. He's important to put him up on here. So we'll make okay. Okay. So this is HLG. Okay. And this is QM. And they Comasadise Bing Bong. Okay. We're in this chat. We're in this. We're in this. We're in this. We're in this. Okay.
Together. There was Godwin the Golden, who you saw being killed in the opening trailer.
Godwin.
And
who's Godwin? Godwin's the gold guy? Godwin's the gold guy with the axe? Who's Godwin?
there were also the reviled Omen Twins.
Omen Twins. You never fight Godwin? Do you ever see Godwin in the game? You never fight him. Omen Twins.
Morgoth, who guards the Erd Tree, and Moog, who became Lord.
Morgoth and Moog were brothers?
Of blood. You might think that Godric was another demigod child, but
wait, who's Godric? Oh, hold on. We got to get that down. So they had... So then we're just going to put their names. So they had Mog, Lil Mog. Actually, you know what? We should do that in pink. So they had Lil Mog and Lil Marge. Right? Okay. Okay, we're there. So that's the family tree. Okay, chat, we're kind of getting there. We're kind of getting there.
He actually wasn't. Instead, he was probably descended from Godwin. Anyway, we'll talk about the demigods more in...
So, hold on, this guy's just kind of a Randy.
Demigod child, but he actually was trailer, and there were also the reviled Omen Twins. Morgoth, who guards the Erd Tree, and Moog, who became Lord of Blood. You might think that Godric was another demigod child, but he actually wasn't. Instead, he was probably descended from Godwin.
VaatiVidya. We don't deal with probablys around here. We need finite lore facts. What? Is there any theories?
Anyway, we'll talk about the demigods more in detail in another video. So
he's an
subscribe
offshoot.
for that.
Okay.
But for now, just know that Godfrey.
So,
and
by the way,
his
side note: subscribe to VaatiVids. VaatiVids.
offspring were the first demigods, henceforth known as the Golden Lineage. In his wars, Godfrey led his 16 Crucible Knights into battle, who were named so for they fought with the primordial powers of the Erd Tree. Their incantations were aspects of the Crucible itself, and they likely fought giants, dragons,
we don't care about these bit players,
to usher in their age, the age of the Erd Tree.
In Marika's own words, hark, brave warriors.
Wait, is that Melania that was following us around the whole time? Chat, is that Melania? That's Melina? Who the heck's Melina?
Hark, my lord Godfrey.
I thought that was the big plot twist.
Guidance hath delivered ye through each ordeal to the place ye stand. Put the giants to the sword and confine the flame atop the mount. Let a new epoch begin, an epoch glistening with life. Brandish the Elden Ring for the age of the Erd Tree.
The Erd Tree would go on to be largely seen as a blessing for all of those in the lands between.
Quick update if you're just joining us. The Erd Tree is a parasite that was sent down from the Space Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen,
especially those close to it in Lanedell, the capital city of the Erd Tree. The tree bestowed blessings. For example, the dew that dropped from its branches were like jewels. It loomed overhead as a constant reminder of order, and its roots reached far and wide.
Who's that?
Many
We never fought that.
Of death.
Is that the Abyss Watcher?
Erd Tree burial was one of the highest honors a hero could receive.
Erd Tree Burial.
One by one, the previous factions
Oh,
of the
slow-mo.
world fell. The giants were put to the sword, and their fell god was killed by Marika herself. The ancient dragons broke down the walls of Leyndell, but met fierce retaliation. However, I think the House of the Erd Tree encountered the most trouble against the land to their southwest, Leonia. Here, the House of the Moon...
Hex Leonia, chat.
...repelled their offensives time and time again. And I mean that literally, because there was not just one, but 2 wars fought here. And in both of these, there was no victory for the Golden, nor for the Moon. And I suspect it was probably because
Lakes of
these
Laterno?
lobsters. These damn things can snipe...
Wait, why is he cutting stuff out? Why is stuff being cut?
...you from like a mile away, and it's bullshit. Actually, it was probably because of the Carrier Knights, who, according to their weapons, were able to wield sorcerous battle skills, and despite numbering fewer than 20...
Wait, what was the joke? Wait, what? What's the bit? What's the bit?
Literally, because there was not just one, but 2 wars fought here, and in both of these, there was no victory for the Golden, nor for the Moon. And I suspect it was probably because of these lobsters. These damn things can snipe you from like a mile away, and it's bullshit. Actually, it was probably because of the Carrier Knights, who, according to their weapons, were able to wield sorcerous battle skills.
Oh, Chad, I'm trying to study here. All right? Tell me the last time you read a textbook and there was like a knock-knock joke in the middle of your textbook.
And despite numbering fewer than 20, this power made them a match for even the champions of gold in battle. These enchanted knights were anointed by the Lunar Queen, a young astrologer who went on to establish
banana hat.
The House of Caria as royalty in this land.
So Renala is the Queen of Resin, not related to Marika. She was not... Where is she from? She's not involved in this. Different faction. Okay, so she's blue res. So she's blue res hat right here. Okay. And she's Carrion. And she's also Moon Lord. Okay. Connect her to Queen. How are they connected? How are they connected, chat? We don't know yet.
With her bewitching lunar magic, she won over the Academy of Raya Lucaria, where glintstone sorcery was studied.
Glinting! I forgot about glinting!
The Carrion royal family and the learned scholars of Raya Lucaria defended their home from the golden aggressors. At the head of this great golden army was Radagon.
Lord Radagon was a great champion.
Radagon is the last guy we fought, right? Radagon, yeah.
Possessed of flowing red locks, he came to these lands at the head of a great gold...
How does he get in these cutscene videos? Does he have access to the Bandai Namco files?
...golden host, when he met Lady Renala in battle.
These 2 champions clashed, fell in love, and joined their houses.
Okay, chat, we're here. Where is... Okay, hold. Wait. How did they... Wait, what? We haven't drawn Radagon yet. So Radagon is... question mark? Red hair. Okay. And then... we'll call this... Red, and then right there. Okay, what kids do they have? And this is Renala. I need to write her name so I don't forget. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Radagon once cleansed himself with celestial dew. Repented his territorial aggression.
Chat, what does Celestial Dew do? Is that the stuff that allows you to respec?
And swore his love to Renala. The order of the Erd Tree and the fate of the moon were conjoined, and all the wounds of war forgiven.
You might think it strange that the Greater Will would permit this union, but it's not too odd, all things considered. As with most From Software games, sorcery and faith are just two sides of the same coin, and both of these powers,
sorcery and faith, double resin,
stem from the cosmos. Radagon and Renala were known to have 3 children together.
Chat. Radagon and Renala have 3 kids. I may have to get this tree out of here. This tree lost its spot. Get it out. Get it out of here. This is not lore worthy right here. Not lore worthy. Get it out. Get that. It's not important. That's side piece. Okay, so they had 3 kids. All right, tell us the names of the kids.
Luna Princess Rani, who...
Okay, multi-hand Marty. So they had... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's her name? Rani. Okay, there's 1. But she helped us kill him, right? Okay, Rani.
Who inherited her mother's propensity for lunar magic. Radan, who took after...
So Radagon and Banana Hat had Radan. Wait, what? So he is red, horned, on a little horsey with 2 blades. Okay. That's Radan. Okay. Who's the 3rd one?
After his father Radagon, and would go on to master gravitational magic, and Rykard, who pioneered new hex sorceries and would go on to feed himself.
So Snake Boy, which no one really cares about. Bit player. Okay. That's Rykard. Okay, Snake Boy. So this is their family. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Self to a great serpent.
We're there, chat. Chat, we're there.
It follows that at some point after this...
Real quick, before we digest anything, if you're just joining us, we're breaking down Elden Ring lore into a first grade explanation courtesy of VaatiVidyas. Okay? The whole story starts, there's a space lord, okay, who created the Elden Ring, which the Elden Beast is the Elden Ring, okay? Then the Space Lord sent down the Erd Tree, which is a parasite. The parasite needed someone to fight for him, which was an imp. One of the imps was Queen Marika, who married Horalu, also known as Godfrey. Godfrey and Queen Marika had Lil Mog and Little Margot. Then there was another love story, Radagon and Banana Hat, aka Renala. They had Rani, Radagon, and Snake Rykard. Chat. If you could take something master's level, make it first grade, we're getting there. Now I feel like this is really important.
Serpent. It follows that at some point after this, Marika began to harbor doubts. Doubts about the Golden Order.
Marika was Team Blue? She was a doubter?
That she had had a hand
Makes sense.
in creating.
In Marika's own words, I declare mine intent to search the depths of the Golden Order through understanding of the proper way. Our faith, our grace is increased. Those blissful early days of blind
Godwin the
belief
Forgotten?
are long
Who's
past.
Godwin?
My comrades.
Godwin and
must
Horalu are
falter.
the same thing, right?
And it's at this point that we should talk about Marika's motivations, her character. This is surely going to be one
we
of
don't
those
care about
huge
him. We
points
never
of
see him in the
debate
game.
in the coming years. But for now, my working theory
What's
is that
Horalu's other
she
name?
wanted to discover the truth behind order and the truth behind the greater will.
Godfrey.
And she believed that bonds had to be broken
Okay.
so that they could be better understood.
Okay.
She believed that there was great meaning to be found in hardship.
Wait, chat. Godwin is important? Yeah, but they just kind of brushed him off.
Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle.
Godwin was the fake guy that, like, oh, he's not a part of any family.
Unto eternity.
Okay.
For Lord Godfrey, his struggle ended at the end
That's
of his
Horalu.
campaigns.
Okay.
According to his armor, he led the war against the giants, faced the Storm Lord alone. And then there came a moment when his last worthy enemy fell. And it was then, as the story is told, that the hue of Lord Godfrey's eyes faded. In truth, he was robbed of his grace. Then Marika sent him away.
My lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace.
Hold on. So you're telling Marika sent him packing? Okay. That's because he lost, but he won the battle.
With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar,
He got sick of fighting.
where ye will live and die.
This became known as the Long March of the Tarnished, as Godfrey and his tarnished descendants walked away from the lands between. But Queen Marika absolutely had a plan here, that Lord Godfrey and his descendants would one day return stronger, having struggled outside of grace.
Because there's no one left for him to fight?
After thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden Ring.
So it was her plan to dump him and then entice him back in with "it's not you, it's me"?
Grow strong in the face of death,
That's some
warriors of my lord.
that's some marionette stuff.
Soon after, she found a new husband. Either that or a new husband was found for her.
Chat. Send him packing to make him stronger. Look, I don't recommend that for any relationship, all right? Don't break up with them because you hope they're going to get stronger.
When Godfrey first
Wait, you find a new husband. Wait, I missed that part. I was yapping.
My lord, Lord Godfrey.
Soon after, she found a new husband. Either that or a new husband was found for her.
Queen Marika found a new husband while he went packing, okay?
When Godfrey, first Elden Lord, was hounded from the lands between, Radagon left Rennala to return to the Erdtree capital.
Are you kidding me?
Chat, 2 divorces? Radagon left Rennala. 2 divorces? Chat. Correct? But here's I think this is important to denote. Let's put the arrow this way. It was her decision to get the divorce here. Hold on. To Rio Sag. Just give me the color. Her decision. And it was his decision. Okay? That's important to note. I feel like because he walked away. Okay?
Becoming Queen Marika's second husband and king consort.
Is this confirmed?
Are you kidding me?
So she left, and he left, so they can get married. Oh my gosh. What? How is this George R. R. Martin came up with this? So then, hold on. They get married. Okay, I think we're on pace. So this is actually number 2. That's number 2. Marriage number 2. Okay. So he's dude, we're just taking this all in.
Taking the title of Second Elden Lord.
Okay.
The mystery endures to this day as to why Lord Radagon would cast Lady Renala aside, and moreover, why a mere champion would be chosen for the seat of Elden Lord.
So he became second Elden Lord. Is the Space Lord the first Elden Lord? Who's the first Elden Lord? Okay. No. Godfrey. This guy was the first, which is Horalu. Okay. So he was the first EL. He is the second. Because whoever marries Marika is the Elden Lord? But why is she the Elden wife? Like, why does she have that power? Because the Space Lord picked her? Okay, the Space Lord picked her. Got it. Okay. Okay, I got you. Okay, we're there. We're there. Chat, we're here. We're here.
Whatever the case, as a part of this union, Radagon's prior 3 children with Renala became demigod stepchildren.
So, not a huge deal. Because he became Elden Lord, these guys then become pogged out of their gourd. So they get... Okay. So they became Elden mini-pogs, as indicated by there. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Granted grace, thanks to their new family tree.
Okay.
Renala was broken by this.
That's sad. That's why she's slumped over all the time, reading books, head first in resin. That's what you turn to when bad stuff happens.
And so was her country, Leonia. The Queen's set reads, when Renala, head of both the Academy of Raya Lucaria and the Carian royal family, lost her husband Radagon, her heart went along with him. And then those at the Academy realized that Renala was no champion.
What was she holding on to?
After all, in the wake of Radagon's betrayal and Renala's poor judgment, Leonia struggled with civil war, with the Academy of Raya Lucaria on one side and the Carian royals on the other.
So those two, so the Burger Kings and the Dark Souls 3s used to work for Renala. When she got left high and dry, they were fighting amongst each others. Okay.
And it's here, during the age of the Erd Tree, that Lunar Princess Rani, daughter of Renala and Radagon, stole a fragment of the Rune of Death.
It happened during the Golden Age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden Ring. Someone stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from...
And the Rune of Death, Queen Marika stashed away. Right? And she stole a little piece of it. Okay. Okay, let's just put some horns right there. Okay. And gave it to her dog.
Malekith, the Black Blade.
As mentioned previously, Malekith was Marika's shadow.
So, just let me get this right. Rani stole a piece of the shadow stuff from her stepmom and gave it to her stepmom's dog. No. She stole it from the dog. Okay. I got it. Okay. But the people who had dogs, she had Melchibeth. Who had Blade? Blade. Ronnie had Blade. Okay. Ronnie had Blade. And then there's another. He had Tiger Boy. There's only two that matter. Do any of them have names? Red Wolf. Sirash was a bit player. Did Radagon have a dog? Was Fred the donkey? Okay, it's irrelevant. Just those two dogs matter. Okay. The donkey was Radagon's. Got it.
And he had sealed destined death in a black blade. Then a fragment, only a fragment, of this Rune of Death was stolen. And once this happened, Malekith went a step further in protecting destined death. He bound the blade within his own flesh, such that none might rob death ever again. It was too late, however. This fragment of the Rune of Death was used immediately, that night, to kill a demigod, Marika's own son, Godwyn the Golden.
Okay. So, she had a son named Godwyn. But Godwyn, they said, wasn't related. Who's Godwyn's dad? Godwyn is the son of Godric and Marika. Godwyn is not the axe guy. Who's Godwyn? Godwyn is their brother. Godric is Axeman. So Godwyn, what did they say? So we should go. Did Vaati say that? Godwyn, and then Ronnie yeeted him. Right? Okay. Why would she kill him? That's right. Okay, watch. Okay.
That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering.
Who smashed the Elden Ring?
There is a lot of really credible evidence that Marika was behind this plot to have a fragment of the Rune of Death stolen. There's also a ton of evidence that Marika is behind the entirety of your tarnished quest, but we'll talk about that in another video. For now, all you really need to know, in terms of the timeline at least, is this.
So, theory, Marika wanted Godwyn to die.
After the marriage of Marika and Radagon, and after a fragment of the Rune of Death was stolen, Marika went on to shatter the Elden Ring.
Okay. After their marriage, after Godwyn was dead, she shattered this piece. Theory. She said, hey, let's shatter it. In theory. And
Radagon attempted to repair it, to no avail. The Elden Ring had been broken into runes, some great and some small.
You know, it's said that Lord Radagon harbored a secret.
That is fact. Okay. So, okay, that's fact. So then she smashed this, and this turned into this. Okay. Okay. Why though?
Famed sculptor of the Erd Tree capital was once summoned to render Lord Radagon's life.
Hold on. Too much yapping.
You know, it's said that Lord Radagon harbored a secret. A famed sculptor of the Erd Tree capital was once summoned to render Lord Radagon's likeness in giant stature.
Okay.
When he glimpsed the skeleton in Radagon's closet. And as such, it's said the great statue harbors his secret too.
Of course, the huge twist in Elden Ring is that Radagon is Marika, or depending on what you believe, he became her.
What? What?
Kaiser Susie.
The usual suspects?
Kaiser Susie.
When did he become... So he was in there.
For she knew it was going to happen.
In Marika's own words, O Radagon, leal hound of the Golden Order, thou art yet to become me. Thou art yet to become a god.
So it was a plan all along?
Let us be shattered, both. Mine other self.
You can tell when From Software is keeping something a little bit open-ended, and of everything in Elden Ring's lore, this will also go on to be one of the biggest unknowns as we move forward. For example, the wording, thou art yet to become me, reinforces that Marika and Radagon were two separate entities before the shattering. However...
Okay, real quick, just to update, they were separate while this was shattered. She's the one that shattered it. And then he, maybe after that, slid in there.
In contrast, there is also evidence that Radagon was always part of Marika. For example, Enya says that
the demigods are each and all the direct offspring of Queen Marika.
The demigods are all.
But how can this be if Radagon married Renala and had those demigod children? The only way that makes sense is if Radagon was always Marika and he just went over there to seduce Renala long ago. I'll present more concrete theories in the future, but on this matter, the most important thing is, what do you think? While you can
I don't
figure
know.
out a ton of Elden Ring's story, not all of it is open to interpretation.
I don't know.
Certain things are.
You're supposed to tell me.
One of them. And your interpretation is a big part of what makes this story special. At any rate, the union of Radagon and Marika seems to be a union of two fundamental opposing laws of the Golden Order. We mentioned these laws earlier, actually. There's the law of causality, and Marika is an agent of cause and effect. And there's the law of regression, as Radagon is a character who aspires to be complete and regress together. So I have a theory that forcing these two beings that represent these concepts together would have corrected Marika's deviance. But even so, she was imprisoned in the Erd Tree for the crime of the shattering.
Marika's trespassed in...
Okay. Marika was thrown in the tree because she got caught smashing. Okay.
Demanded a heavy sentence. But even in shackles...
Also here, like, I'm... like... You see some stuff, right?
She remains a god and the vision's vessel.
The conjoined Radagon and Marika even had two demigod children of their own, Michela and Millennia.
Who? Wait, who?
Demanded a heavy sentence. But even in shackles, she remains a god and the vision's vessel.
The conjoined Radagon and Marika even had two demigod children.
Okay, so let's just...
Thank you. Can we please get some dang packs spam in the chat?
Yo, tell you, thanks for the 10 gifted, appreciate it. This is important, okay? So we're running out of space here, but maybe we slide it in right here. So hear me out. This is important. So we take this. How are we going to draw this, chat? How are we going to draw this? We take this with a little bit of this, with a little bit of this, some of that, and some of this, and some of that, with a little bit of... We need a different color. With a little bit of... This may make more sense if we do it this way. With a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this. Okay? Then this, did it like have it itself? Then it had two. Okay? And I mean, we need to give it more love than that, but it is what it is right here. Then they had Melania, who we got to at least draw it, right? They had Melania and dude, how come Melania gets no love? And then who's Michela? Michela's the egg? Okay. Holy boosh. How did they...
Of their own, Michela and Melania. These two children were born afflicted. Michela was cursed with eternal childhood. And...
Wait, how did they, like... Unknown?
The conjoined Radagon and Marika even had two demigod children of their own, Michela.
Like, did it just pop
Melania.
out?
These two children were born afflicted.
Afflicted.
Michela was cursed with eternal childhood. And Melania...
That's not a curse. Michela... Wait, is Michela the little doll? Eternal childhood?
harbored a horrific rot within. Even so, these two children were both chosen as Empyreans. They were immensely sacred beings and eligible to inherit godhood from the Greater Will. Perhaps the Greater Will was just desperate to find a worthy successor, and indeed in the shattering war to come, many would try to claim the shards of the Elden Ring, and they would try to take the throne, including, of course, the Tarnished.
Real quick, also, side note, settle hodl. Melania, who was the Double's kid, fought Radagon's first son. So they were step brother and sister fighting. Okay. What were they fighting over? Half siblings. Okay.
Who returned from their long march at long last, which we'll talk about in the next main lore video. I should probably also mention here that if you become a patron, you'll see upcoming lore videos early, as that's one of the rewards you get if you pledge to the...
VaatiVidya, if we're a patron, can you tell us how Melania and Michela were born?
$3 tier. And if you think my channel really adds a lot of value to the Souls games for you to the point where you pledge $20, then in this new tier, you'll receive a new mug every 3 months that has a unique design on it to do with the games by From Software. There are
Hey, tell me your license without telling me you're licensed.
4 to collect. The first one you'll get is inspired by Dark Souls, then Elden Ring, then Sekiro, and finally Bloodborne. And they all have fantastic art that I worked on with an amazing artist named Chu. But anyway, I figured this is the right place to end this video because the information here is going to be overwhelming. I bet it probably was too overwhelming, you know? It took me ages to commit these names and the relationships they had with other characters to memory, so...
How did he do it? We need to talk to
One thing
Vaati.
that helped me a lot was that we designed an enormous mind map with pretty much all of Elden Ring's lore, all of its item descriptions, all of its dialogues, all of the relationships between characters that we can think of. We added all of this together, and it helped a ton in learning about the story.
Is that a public document?
Visualizing it all. And one day I will make this asset available to you all because I think, after doing it, I think this is the quintessential way to piece together the story.
Did he say 1 day or 2 day?
And I think giving you guys this asset eventually will make that accessible for people. So I'm really excited about
Only
that.
available
I
to
want
patrons?
Thank Absa and Zard for accepting the paid task of helping me put all the raw data into this mind map so that I could better understand everything. I want to thank Paragod for fulfilling all of my footage requests and creating so many cinematic scenes for this video and for you all to enjoy. And I last of all want to thank John Devlin for the incredible thumbnail. And of course, thank you for watching. There are some really exciting things ahead, and I actually believe this might be the best story that From Software have ever put together.
It's pretty good.
I think not only are there so many amazing item descriptions, but so many of them are impactful. There are so many moments where you piece together the story and have like a eureka moment, and I'm enjoying it so much. But now I'm gonna go and play the game a little bit.
Chat, check out VaatiVids, by the way. Let me F11 spam this VaatiVids. That's pretty good, man. Like, that's pretty complex, and we can understand it. Chat, why in chat if you could get a C+. Wait, where is that? Chat, why in chat if you could get a C+ on the Elden Ring lore? I think we could too. I really think we could. You could use this. Yeah, you could have this on the test. 94%. Let's see if there's what else. Is this all about you know who? So we watched Elden Ring lore explained. We got a thumbs up that, by the way.
Our story doesn't begin in the lands between.
10 discoveries, 10 useful. Demigods explained. We'll watch that another time. Is this about you know who? Demigods is the next big one.
The demigods are each and all the direct offspring of Queen Marika. There was Godwyn, Morgoth, Mohg, Radahn, Rykard, Ranni, Michela, and Malenia, Blade of Michela. Malenia, Blade of Michela, Malenia, Blade of Michela, and Malenia. Not again. All of these demigods had fallen from grace by the...
Prepare to Cry is cinematic pageantry. Where's that? Where's Prepare to Cry? The lore of Elden Ring bosses. Chat, we got so much we got to look at. Where's Prepare to Cry? This one? All right, chat, real quick. Let me do a recap here. So big thank you to VaatiVids. We've boiled down VaatiVids and the Elden Ring lore into this final story. If you missed it, if you want the TLDW, you want to know Elden Ring in 1 minute or less, here we go. Here we go. You want to know Elden Ring in 1 minute or less? Here we go. There's a Space Lord. He made the Elden Ring. The Elden Ring then turned into the Elden Beast. Then the Erd Tree came down from the Space Lord, which turned into a parasite, which they said, hey, we need someone to protect us. They called the Empyreans. The Empyreans then picked Queen Marika to be the Lord of everything. She married Horalu, also known as Godwyn. They had 3 kids, Lil Mog, Little Marg, and Godwyn. Also on the other side, then Horalu got dumped. Okay, on the other side, you had Ranni, the Banana Hat. She married someone called Radagon, who Radagon, after divorced with Queen Marika, she kicked him to the curb. Then they got married. They had 3 kids, Ranni, Radahn, and Rykard. Then Ranni stole something from the Blade of Michela, stole something from Marika, murdered Godwyn. Then Queen Marika smashed the Elden Ring, and then from there was a little bit of insert combination of Radahn and Michela joined and had Michela and Malenia, and that's where our story ends. Pretty close. That's sub 1 minute. It's pretty close. I messed up the divorce situation's a little sticky. Pretty close. All right. There you go. I called Godfrey Godwyn again. Yeah, that's going off to TikTok. Clip that, ship it. Prepare to Cry. Is this, chat, is this just about you know who? Oh, it's not about. I thought this was about Let Me Solo Her. Is Let Me Solo Her in the video? No? I'm all for some clickbait. But that's Let Me Solo Her right there. He makes a cameo. Real bait. It's real bait. He is kind of in it. Okay, I got you. All right, chat. We'll watch one more. This one came out 4 days ago. I won't remember these bosses. Demigods first. Okay.
The demigods.
All right, we're gonna look. We've already explained. Hold on, I gotta save this because we ran out of canvas here. Hold on. I'll save as Elden Ring explained first grade. Okay, we need a new canvas here. Let's go. Dump it. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, big thank you to VaatiVids. We're going to take a look at, we're going to explain the demigods in first grade after VaatiVids explains it in Master's Thesis Forehead.
Are each and all the direct offspring.
Okay,
demigods are each and all the direct offspring of Queen Marika. There was Godwyn, Morgoth, Mohg, Radahn, Rykard, Ranni, Michela, and Malenia. Blade.
Okay, so all the demigods were kids of either Radahn and Rennala, or Radahn and Queen Marika, or the double-double. Okay, those are all the demigods. Radagon, sorry.
Malenia,
Radagon.
Blade of Michela. Malenia, Blade of Michela. And Malenia. Not again. All of these demigods had fallen from grace by the time the shattering occurred. But in this video, I want to mostly talk about the origins of these characters, who these demigods were before the fall. And some of these demigods fell a long way indeed. Before he became this unsightly mess, Godwyn the Golden was quite the heroic figure. He was born of the promising union between Lord Godfrey.
Was that his real armor we were wearing the whole game?
And Queen Marika, and he achieved great renown for his bravery in one of their wars at least, the War of the Ancient Dragons. This war began when Grandsax, a great ancient dragon, rained calamity down upon Leyndell, marking the only time in historical record that Leyndell's walls had fallen. It's not clear why Grandsax first attacked.
Who's Grandsax?
Fortifying themselves against lightning, the Knights of the Erd Tree weathered his assault, and Grandsax was defeated. However, this was only the beginning.
Dragon.
A bitter war against the ancient dragons was to follow. During this war, the Erd Tree Sentinels had an epiphany that the only way to truly protect the Erd Tree was to become dragons themselves. And so, despoiling the corpses of their foes, the grotesque sentinels served the Erd Tree, but fought with the claws of the enemy instead.
How did they beat the dragons?
In the end, the ancient dragons were routed once again. In a graveyard of swords by the Stormcaller Church, the end of the war is commemorated. Here, we learn that during battle, Godwyn the Golden defeated Fortisax, called the mightiest dragon of them all.
Wait, I thought we killed Fortisax.
However, he did not kill Fortisax. Instead, he befriended him. And it was in this act that the powers of the ancient dragons truly became a part of Leyndell. After all, only those loved by dragons can survive the ordeal of cladding their bodies in lightning. So, from an unlikely friendship, an ancient dragon cult was born in the capital city, and the Knights of Leyndell learned to worship the dragons and wield their light.
Why don't they have dragons on their chest? So basically, let me TLDR here. TLDR. So you had, what's this group called? So you had the Dragon Boys. Whoops. You had the Dragon Boys. Okay. Here's the Dragon Boys, who were just dragons. Okay. So you had the dragons. And then you had the Knights of Leyndell. And then, if I'm correct, they beat them up, and then they infused them. So they made them faint like a Pokemon, and then they infused them with lightning. Right? Where's our good brush at? They infused them with lightning. Yeah? What do you mean, no?
Lanciax, sister of Fortisax, even took human form to better commune with the knights. It was officially decided that the worship of the ancient dragons did not conflict with belief in the Erd Tree, and it was all thanks to Godwyn, commander of the dragons Golden Lightning, and a true child of the Golden Lineage.
Yo, Fader Snaps, I hope you came from
But
there.
now,
Thanks for checking out the
let's
channel.
talk about Morgoth and Mohg, the Omen Twins, who were also born.
Morgoth and Mohg. Okay. Hear me out. Morgoth and Mohg. Mommy is Marika. Daddy is Radagon. Bingo.
Of Godfrey and Marika's Golden Lineage. First, what is an Omen?
No? Mommy is Marika. Oh, this was the first marriage. First marriage. Hold on, hold on. I gotta bring up my cheat sheet. That's my fault. Elden Ring explained. Hold on, we gotta bring up the cheat sheet. Where is it saved at? Elden Ring. Man, we need that. We need that cheat sheet. Okay, here's a cheat sheet, chat. Sorry. Lil Mog, Little Marg. We're Horalu and Queen Marika. Okay, we're back. Okay.
Omen. Well, to put it simply, an omen is an accursed child, seen as impure, as they are born with horns on the body and face. When this happens, the correct thing to do, culturally at least, is to cut off the horns of the omen, an act which usually causes them to perish. It's pretty messed up. But some omen do survive this process.
Ew.
And some omen are even given a cleaver, crafted specifically for them and awarded as a tool of war, although these weapons are bestowed with a readiness to take them away. We find one such omen in an Erd Tree camp upon the Altus Plateau. Before you
Atlas
find it, you might have
pleasies.
noticed another omen nearby, writhing in its sleep. It's said that omens see evil spirits in their nightmares, and I think this omen is dreaming, haunted by the vengeful spirits of its...
This is why this game is so good, right? Like, all this stuff is going on, and they don't open your mouth and cram it in. They're like, hey, welcome to the buffet. You can eat absolutely nothing and just smash all the plates and glassware around you, or you can sit down and have a nice meal, but it's completely up to you. And inside of the buffet is like 5-star Michelin dining.
accursed kin. This brings us to the Omen.
It's not like some games or some restaurants are like, please come in, sit here. Here's your meal. You have no choice whatsoever. Here's your appetizer. Here's your lunch. Here's your dinner. Here's your dessert. You don't like any of it because you're sitting there and having to wait for it. There's no fruit. You just get served.
Killers,
all right,
who are horrifying butchers of twisted conscience. They wear these horned masks that make a mockery of the Omen's nightmares, and these butchers hunt the Omen and amputate.
What are those guys' names?
One such Omen in an Erd Tree camp upon the Altus in its sleep. It's said that Omens see evil spirits in their nightmares.
Omen
and
killers.
I think this Omen is dreaming.
This is so cool, man. No wonder this game took 20 years to develop.
This brings us to the Omen Killers, who are horrifying butchers of twisted conscience. They wear these horned masks that make a mockery of the Omen's nightmares, and these butchers hunt the Omen and amputate their horns. The first Omen killer was named Rollo, a famous perfumer who had to imbibe a physic to rid himself of emotion so that he could better perform his tasks. Remember, it seems many Omen have their horns excised when they're very young. That's definitely disturbing enough to warrant an emotion-killing physic in my book. However, if the Omen is born of royalty, then their horns are not cut off, but the Omen is kept underground, unbeknownst to anyone, and imprisoned.
So if there's a royal Omen born, Omen is a cursed kid. If they're royal, they don't get their horns lopped off.
For eternity. By way of example, you would have seen all kinds of Omen confined to the sewers beneath Lane Dell. But why are Omen considered to be accursed in the first place? some of them are clearly intelligent, so what's inherently wrong with being born with horns and great strength? Well, it's important to remember, I think, that this curse might only really exist in the context of the Golden Order. After all, those afflicted with omen horns are not able to return to the Erd Tree for rebirth, and are said to be born outside.
Yo, Cersei's, thanks for the 5 gifted. Appreciate the support.
But why does the Golden Order disavow the omen, then? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but my working theory is that it's to do with the Crucible.
So the Golden Order is the one who really believes in the, like, shaming the horns.
According to this ancient incantation, horns were once an aspect of the Erd Tree's primordial crucible, where all life was once blended
Well, I like
together.
seeing Wise in chat
With
when
the
we're
exception
right.
of a couple of Crucible nights in and around Leyndell, we know that the Golden Order has started to distance itself from most things that touch upon the Crucible. While things like horns, knots, feathers, and scales once grew on the human body and were considered signifiers of the divine, now they are disdained as impurities as civilization has advanced. We learn this from the
Additionally, Morgott has a tail, Mog has feathered wings.
knot, scale, and feather talismans, all of which are guarded by Omen, or dropped by Omen killers, no less. Unfortunately for the Order of the Erd Tree, these once divine impurities seem to crop up in some births, whether they like it or not. Almost like it's a genetic trait, as if it touches upon the Crucible at the root of the Erd Tree. And so you have to ask, is it really a curse to be born as a graceless omen? Well, as with most curses in these games, I think that depends on your perspective.
Vaati. Vaati's basically saying it's in the eye of the beholder.
In any case, Mohg and Morgott were Omen royalty, and thus they were born into a wretched mire far below the earth, horns and all. Here, they were kept under the strictest confinement. Each of them were bound with charmed shackles that were covered in roots or thorns and bathed in golden magic. It seems very few people were supposed to know that they even existed.
Is that why he's hidden? This is not a main boss? Like, you can beat the game without beating Mog, right? Yo.
Morgott, for his part, renounced and despised his accursed omen blood, but his brother Mohg embraced it.
That's why Morgott was above the sewers and Mog was slammed in there.
Deep underground, Mohg stood before an outer god, a being called the Formless Mother, who craves wounds, a being capable of bestowing power upon accursed blood. In this moment, Mohg's accursed blood erupted with fire, and he became besotted with the defilement that he was born into. Here, deep below the earth, he would go on to build a dynasty of blood in reverence of a mother.
Is that what's it?
Seems he never truly had.
Is that Michela behind him?
As for Morgott, he was born into the same accursed fate as his twin brother, but despite not being blessed with grace, he loved the Erd Tree all the same, and even took it upon himself to crawl out of the sewers and become the Erd Tree's protector when the Erd Tree needed him most. In the end, he rightfully became the Omen King and Lord of Leyndell. Omen or not, he was, after all, born of Godfrey and Marika's.
So he was the Omen King. Leyndell was the place of the Horn people?
Golden Lineage. Of course, the marriage between Godfrey and Marika would be ended, and before long, Marika remarried with another man, a champion named Radagon.
Quick lore update here. Okay. Marriage number 1, Queen Marika, Horalu, who made Lil Mog, Little Marg, and Godwin. Divorce. Then she married Radagon after he left Banana Hat. Okay, just quick.
Who
there we go.
Marika calls her other half. He became second Elden Lord and the king consort, but he also brought with him 3 children from a previous marriage that he had had with a Carian queen named Renala.
He brought
These
Rani.
children were Rani, Rykard, and Radan, and they all became demigod stepchildren
We're there, chat.
after Radagon's reunion with Queen.
Is this in the game? Is this in the game or is this a Vaati special?
Children from a previous marriage. That
Does
he
it
had
change
had
in
with
the
a Carian
game?
queen named Renala. These children were Rani.
It changes in the
Rykard,
game?
and Radan. and they all became demigod stepchildren after.
It changes. Okay. You need lots of int to do it.
Radagon's reunion with Queen Marika. Possessed of his father's flaming red hair, Radahn was fond of its heroic implications and considered himself to be born of a great champion.
Look at
Yet he
that
also
face,
looked up
man.
to another man, Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, Queen Marika's first husband and the Lord of the Battlefield.
Real quick. Radagon looked up to Godwyn and not his daddy, Radagon. Radahn looked up to Godwyn, not his daddy, Radagon. Okay.
But Radahn wasn't just
Godfrey,
the son of Radagon
Godfrey.
an aspiring lord of the battlefield. He was also the son of Rennala, who was head of the Academy of Raya Lucaria and Queen of Caria.
That's why he has used
as
his
a Carian
resin.
royal, inclined towards sorcery, Radahn bent his will towards
Radahn used
mastering
resin because his
gravitational
mommy
magic,
was queen of
rock
resin.
sling, gravity well, collapsing stars.
It's all
These
tied
techniques
together.
were taught to him in Celia, the town of sorcery, all so he would never have to abandon his beloved but scrawny steed.
That's why he doesn't smash the horse.
Said before long, his powers would be put towards a more cosmic purpose than simply allowing him to ride his own horse. Radahn was taught gravitational magic by an alabaster lord, a member of a race of ancients
from Game of Thrones,
with skin of stone, who was said to have risen to life when a meteor struck long ago. And when his lessons were complete, Radahn uttered these chilling words.
Thank you for your tutelage. For now, I can challenge the stars.
And of course, he did conquer the stars, and the very constellations would be halted by his strength. But of course, you kind of have to ask, why?
But here's my thing. If he's fighting the stars, he's trying to fight Space Lord, right?
Why was it necessary to conquer the stars in the first place? Well, I have a couple of theories.
No.
Theory one is that it was done in self-defense. After all, according to the Sword Gravestone, Radahn was protecting Celia. What's more, gravitational magic has destructive power, and many gravitational beasts are proof of that destructive power. A being named Astel had even come down to the lands between in the past and destroyed a place called the Eternal City.
Astel was from another... They've never even talked about Astel. The Butterfly Space Lord came, but didn't come from our Space Lord, came from another Space Lord.
What's more, Celians are descendants of the Eternal, positioned right above the Eternal City underground, so there is an argument to be made for Radahn purely defending.
This is all fanfic as far as I'm concerned. Hey, this is lore and ink.
Celia for some reason here. But it's possible for Radahn to have fought in this conflict and to have made the first move as well. So this is theory 2, that Radahn conquered the stars as a preventative measure in service to the greater will. According to a set of astrologer items, the night sky cradles fate. There's even a banished sect of people called the Nox, who live deep below the earth in eternal anticipation of the coming age of stars.
That's
and
a
their
bizarro
Lord of
world.
Night. Long ago, these people invoked the ire of the greater will, so it would make sense that those in service to the greater will might have sought to arrest the stars and put an end to this fate. What's more, Radahn was just a huge fanboy of Godfrey, and he seems to have more loyalty to the Erd Tree than to the moon.
Did Vaati just call Radahn a fanboy?
Finally, the telescope item description says that the fate once writ in the night skies had been fettered by the Golden Order, so surely this is referencing Radahn's actions, and it levels the blame at the Golden Order. But putting Radahn's motivations aside, it's a fact that the stars were held back, and that this had great consequences for many, especially for the rest of his Carian royal family.
Let me explain. The fate of the Carian royal family is guided by the stars, as is the fate of Lady Rani, first heir in the Carian royal line.
So, this family up here, Rani's space moon spell family, is guided by the stars. Okay, just a quick update.
But General Radahn is the conqueror of the stars, who stood up to the swirling constellations, halting their movement in a smashing victory.
So, because Radahn was a Godfrey fanboy, Godfrey was about the trees, not that star life. He stopped the stars to, like, be like Godfrey.
And so, if General Radahn were defeated, the stars
yes,
resume their movement, as would Lady Rani's destiny.
Lunar Princess Rani was the daughter of Radagon and Renala, and sister to Radahn. Interestingly, if you look at her true body atop the Divine Tower, it looks like she...
What do you mean her true body?
Let's go.
Lion nice.
She's dead?
She might have also inherited the red hair of Radagon. Cool detail. But unlike her brother, Radahn, she quite clearly took after her mother more, who was Renala, head of the Carian royal family. The House of Caria...
Chad, real quick. That's anime, right? That's anime? Chad, is that anime? Okay. That gave me anime vibes. I'm learning.
Carian royal family. The House of Caria has this storied history, one that seems to go way back to the astrologers. In the Carian Manor, we find one of their treasures, the Sword of Night and Flame.
Did we find
this? Astrologers who preceded the sorcerers established themselves in mountaintops that nearly touched the sky and considered the fire giants their neighbors. Renala herself was an astrologer, always chasing the stars in her youth. Then she met the full moon, and in time, the astrologer became a queen, establishing the House of Caria as royalty. Caria appears to have a matriarchal hierarchy with
Hobbs'
multiple
resin sword.
princesses
I got you.
and Carian knights that serve as their retainers. Now, however, there is only one princess, Rani, daughter of Renala. And at the time of her birth, she would have been set to inherit quite a lot of power indeed, for the Carian royal family was at its height, and her mother was not only queen, she was also head of the Academy of Raya Lucaria.
But then she was gonna get all that love, but then all of a sudden, Daddy Radagon left Renala. And I'm just gonna see if that's the crack in the armor.
Having bewitched them with the enchanting power of the full moon. Leading the young Rani by the hand, Renala guided her daughter to a meeting with a moon of her own. What Rani beheld was cold, dark, and veiled.
That's where the DLC is.
A dark moon, a sort of twin to Renala's own full moon. You can even see both of these hanging in the sky if you stargaze
what
from
the
heights
heck,
of
man?
the moonlight
How do they
plateau.
do that?
Another who guided Rani was a character called the Snowy Crone, who the young Rani encountered deep in the woods. When you look at Rani, it's actually the likeness of this snow witch that you're seeing, as the doll that now houses Rani's soul was modeled after her, probably as a sign of respect. Clearly Rani looked up to this mysterious woman.
Chat, real quick, do you think, why if you think we'll get more than one DLC, and if you just think we'll get only one?
She became Rani's secret mentor, and she even knew about the Dark Moon, teaching the young Rani to fear it as she imparted her cold sorceries. So, what do these moons represent? That's just a theory, but I think the moons kind of act as guides. The lost black moon of Noxtella, for example, was the guide of countless stars. What's more, Rani and Renala were heavily influenced by their moons. Renala's moon bewitched the academy that she became the head of, and Rani's dark moon, for its part, also imparts wisdom and leads a voyage in the Age of Stars ending. They could even be outer gods. And yet, for all of this guidance, Caria and Leonia as a whole have experienced steep decline. Radagon betrayed the House of the Moon. Radahn locked the stars out of motion. The Academy town is flooded to the north. Caria has been ruined.
You know what you feel bad for in this? You feel bad for Renala. Renala just got the short end of the stick. Her son shut the star. I mean, like, and she has to wear that banana hat all the time.
Ruined in the west, and the stars and moon have gone their separate ways. Nevertheless, Rani, last princess of Caria,
BM?
remains. carefully
What do you
setting
mean?
new plans into motion. Sibling to Rani and
What is
Radahn
that weapon?
was a man named Rykard, who was lord
Snake
of the
Boy.
Volcano Manor. There is evidence that Rykard was friendly with his siblings. He conspired with his sister Rani later on, and there's even a portrait of Radahn hung in the Volcano Manor, as well as a portrait of Rykard himself before the fall. Item descriptions mark Rykard as stern, ambitious, heroic, and blasphemous.
This part's a little confusing.
Part of this blasphemy was opposing the Erd Tree, which actually drew many knights to his banner, for Rykard believed in taking by force, just as the gods did.
I forgot we
Clearly,
fought
many
Snake Boy.
believed that he would usher in a new age. The armor set of the Gelmir Knights reveals to us what were once very loyal soldiers. The crest of red feathers are there to symbolize Rykard's pedigree as Lord Radagon's son.
Okay, Rykard was
The
Radagon's son. I'm
emblem
with you.
upon their chest piece represents a lord who had lofty ambitions. However, as Rykard delved into the ancient secrets of Mount Gelmir, he came across the immortal Great Serpent, an ancient deity that aligned with Rykard's ambitions. And so, Rykard fed himself to the Great Serpent.
He just gave himself up? Wait, this is the Together guy, right? Yeah,
So
yeah.
that he might devour, grow, and live eternally. Alas, this was too much for his knights, and they believed that their master's heroic ambitions had degenerated into mere greed. So they searched desperately for a weapon with which they might halt their lord, and they found it too. The immortal serpent had lived for a long time, and so
we
there
had
was
to
also
use
a
that weapon.
to kill it that had been designed long ago as well, a serpent hunter. But it was too late. As the Lord lost his dignity, so too did the knights lose their master. Not that it bothered Rykard.
Now we can devour God together.
You see the
Next, we
note
need to
Together?
discuss Melania and Michela. These two were twins, as they were both.
Oh, Chad, this is the meat and potatoes of why we're here right here. Chad, I guarantee if you watch the YouTube Hills, spike for Melania. Oh, don't even talk to me. Look at that spike. That's a good spike right there. Look at that spike. That's a good spike.
Next, we need to discuss Melania and Michela. These two were twins, as they were born.
Twins?
No, Rykard, please. Anyway, as you know, Radagon's marriage with Renala did not last.
Right.
Afterwards, he returned.
Hey, real quick, I'm not trying to be that guy. Not trying to be that guy, but hold
we need
on.
to discuss Melania and Michela. These two were twins, as they were born. No, Rykard, please. Anyway, as you know, Radagon...
I never... Like, she got big feet. Like... Are people's feet that much bigger than their head? Like, they're way bigger than his feet.
His marriage with Renala did not last. Afterwards, he returned to the Golden Order and became Queen Marika's consort.
Okay.
But what I haven't yet mentioned is that, together, they were blessed with two demigod children, the so-called twin prodigies. Now, in the last lore video, I briefly proposed that these two twins were born after the Shattering, after Radagon and Marika had merged together to become a single god.
Yes. So, quick lore video. They said Radahn and Marika smashed and became one, and then had Michela and Melania. That's where we're at. Is he going to backtrack on that lore right now?
And Marika had merged together to become a single god. However, I've since changed my mind. I think Melania and Michela were clearly born before the Shattering. There's just so much proof that these two twins were a force that were influencing the world long before the Shattering took place.
So we got to put some question marks here. Just their DOB, their date of birth. Date of birth. We don't know their DOB.
Anyway, both of these twins were born afflicted. Specifically, in the Japanese text, it's said that their births were vulnerable. Michela was born afflicted with eternal youth, and Melania, for her part, was vulnerable to rot. Interestingly, Millennia's scarlet rot is actually an outer god. This outer god, like many others in the game, seems to have an order that is able to be imposed upon the world via an imperial vessel. And
what a piece, man. Like, that was a battle. That was a battle.
Millennia was that vessel. And while the Scarlet Rot is pretty terrible, you can sort of argue that it's got a beauty to it. According to Gowry, the Order of Rot is resplendent. It's a cycle of death and rebirth. Kind of like the lotus flower, which is a flower that blooms anew, beautiful and fresh from mud. I actually have art of this flower hanging in my home. I always love the symbol of it. I actually have lots of art hanging now, and I'm going to talk about all of this artwork that you can buy at the end of the video.
Vaati.
And don't forget, make sure you click that subscribe button.
Look, I get it. Vaati put 6 months into this video. Look, tell me your soul's lore without telling me your soul's lore.
Anyway, so Millennia the Empyrean was vulnerable to and afflicted by the Scarlet Rot. There was said to be no cure to this, and while fire and consecration seemed to be somewhat effective at warding it off, Millennia would slowly lose her physical self to the rot.
Does fire work? What resin? What is she weak to, chat? Is she weak to anything? What's she weak to? Fire? Frost? Bleed?
Interestingly, old legends of the Scarlet Rot have persisted in the world for generations.
Is that in the game?
And we learn more about the Rot God from the Blue Dancer charm.
Where was that at? You walked right by it? I never walked by that in my life. Not even true.
The Dancer in Blue represents a fairy who, in legend, bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god, a god that was rot itself.
You ran through the area with 40 minutes at full speed. I got you.
Specifically, this god was long ago sealed away in the stagnant water that is downstream of the Ainsel River underground. And wherever rot appears, the kindred of rot appear as well. These are pests and servants of the rot. And
man, what a massive game.
These are servants that have been forsaken by Millennia, who is their new goddess. So this blind swordsman with the flowing curved sword actually went on to become Millennia's mentor. So technically it's him that we have to blame for this goddamn attack. The prosthesis wearer heirloom tells us more. A talisman engraved.
Wait, is that like the guy from Game of Thrones that teaches Arya? What's that guy's name? 380 hours of entertainment. What's his name? The Faceless Man? What was his nickname? Yeah, the Faceless Man, the man with no name.
What do we say to the god of death? Not today.
With a scene from a heroic tale. Though born into the accursed rot, when the young girl encountered her mentor and his flowing blade, she gained wings of unparalleled strength. Millennia's ridiculous attack is called the Waterfowl Dance, and aesthetically it makes sense that, flowing waters would counter the effects of rot.
That's a little bit of a stretch, Vaati, but I'll give you that one. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I'll give you that one. Molecule, I believe it's called Molecule.
For just as still waters turn foul, stagnation turns to decay. Thus, warriors must remain ever drifting. And indeed, Millennia does resist the call of the rot. There's a lot of evidence that she's not really a willing vessel, but through sheer will and sense of self, she resists the rot.
Through sheer will. I think Millennia tends to bring that out in everyone who goes T to T with her. Just throwing that out there.
And only when she is truly pressed in battle will she abandon this will and bloom into the goddess within. Millennia's first bloom was during her fight against Radahn, and releasing her Scarlet Rot was a last-ditch effort that...
Did she do that on purpose? She slammed herself on purpose?
...would forever taint the land of Caelid and cripple Radahn. So, whatever she was fighting for in this fight against Radahn, somehow it was worth this terrible act. In general terms, at least, it's clear that Millennia was fighting for her brother. Apart from the times where she relapses into being the goddess of rot, she is known as the Blade of Michela. She actually goes to great lengths to tell you this. I don't know if you heard. Despite being the toughest boss in From Software history, she's actually fighting for his right to godhood, not her own.
It's very noble of her.
In words, her brother Michela possesses the wisdom, the allure of a god. He is the most fearsome Empyrean of all.
2,999
Michela
times.
did a lot to earn his sister's dedication, not the least of which was inspiring her armor and a prosthetic of unalloyed gold. It is not just his sister that loved Michela, many people did. The Bewitching Branch is an item that you can use
What is that resin?
turn enemies into temporary allies, and it reads, "Indeed, he has learned very well how to compel such affection." For his father Radagon, Michela fashioned and gifted to him a fundamentalist incantation called Triple Rings of Light. Radagon then returns the favor, gifting back an incantation called Radagon's Rings of Light. These
Triple
interactions
resin
show some of Michela's positive connections with his father and also Golden Order fundamentalism. And yet, the young Michela abandoned fundamentalism, for it could do nothing to treat Millennia's accursed rot. This was the beginning of unalloyed gold. So, what is unalloyed gold?
I was just going to ask you that.
An alloy is a composition of metals, so unalloyed gold is pure gold, essentially, with no external mixtures. This gold apparently can ward away the meddling of outer gods, and so Michela bent a lot of his efforts towards creating an unalloyed gold needle. Specifically, this needle was crafted for his sister, to ward off the rot god and forestall the effects of the incurable rotting sickness.
So she needled herself so gods wouldn't mess with her.
We see the bond between the siblings as well when we visit Michela's Halig tree. We see a statue of a one-armed woman embracing a child.
Dude, that's... So she's actually like the good guy.
Michela. In this place, we see the biggest example of Michela's benevolence, the Halig tree, and the society that was built into the brace that supports it. This was a promised land, seen as a salvation to many who were shunned or persecuted, provided that they can actually find the path here, of course. And like many other Empyreans, Michela seems to have had the will within them to create a new order, and his is an order that's somewhat modeled on the ones that came before it. The biggest thing is that the Halig tree is clearly inspired by the Erd tree. But the difference is that Michela's Halig tree is said to be accepting of all, even those the Erd tree shuns. Michela himself was once embedded inside of the Halig tree, and he watered it with his very own blood since
So the egg was in the center of the tree. Very accepting.
it was a mere
Michela.
sapling. Tragically,
A+
however,
guy.
he was ripped out of this womb during the shattering, and his Halig tree ultimately failed to grow into an Erd
Who ripped
tree,
him out of there?
becoming a misshapen husk instead. But that's the story for another day. There's also a ton of cut
Mog
content
ripped
to
him
do
out?
with Michela, and he's one of the most mysterious demigods, who I'm sure we'll learn about more later. But there is one more thing that I want to mention before I go. It's kind of one theory I had during the making of this video. So, Michela and Millennia each have their own butterflies. Millennia's is the Aeonian butterfly, which inhabit the swamp of Aeonia and are rumored to come from the wings of the rot goddess herself. And I think it's fair to say that Michela's butterfly is the nascent butterfly, which appears as if it's just emerged from its cocoon for its entire life. This is a reference to Michela's eternal youth and his cocoon in the Halig tree. But there is, of course, a third butterfly, right? There's the smoldering butterfly. It's said to be an eternally burning butterfly that serves as kindling. Now bear with me, but it's my theory that this butterfly is a reference to Melina, who the Blade of Calling calls the kindling maiden and the one who walks alongside flame.
We fight her.
This might suggest that Melina is a sibling to Millennia and Michela. Again, that's just a theory, but what I really want to talk
That is new tech.
Latimer Kaiser Soze.
about here is that, at the very least, Melina is almost certainly the daughter of Marika. We learned this a long time ago.
Yeah, who is she? The daughter. That's not part of the lore here. She's not Michela, Melania, Lil Mog, Little Marge, or Godwin.
From looking at her name in the game's files, and we can further infer it from her dialogue, as she has a few lines that refer to mothers and one that says that she was born inside the Erd tree. So her being the daughter of Marika is also just a theory, but this one is much more concrete than the butterfly one. Although the reason I like the butterfly theory is that it gives us a hint as to who Melena's parents might have been. Her parents would have been Radagon and Marika, which is to say, Marika herself alone, I guess, because Radagon is Marika. Honestly...
Excuse me? What did you just say?
So, her being the daughter of Marika is also just a theory, but this one is much more concrete than the butterfly one. Although the reason I like the butterfly theory is that it gives us a hint as to who Melena's parents might have been. Her parents would have been Radagon and Marika, which is to say, Marika herself alone, I guess, because Radagon is Marika. Honestly...
Separate at first. Separate at first. There were 2 stages of that. There was separate, and then there's a post-smashing. So, Body, let's not take too many liberties there. Not take too many. Because we cleaned up this. You said Michela and Melania were born post-smash. They were actually born pre-smash. So...
Melina as a character has only become more mysterious since the game.
What do you mean not true? That is true. That's what he said in the video.
And I'm really only scratching the surface with this theory. But speaking of times before Elden Ring was released,
can we buy this?
A long time ago, I commissioned this piece from a renowned artist named Marco, and now I'm so excited to reveal it for the first time. This storybook scene is heavily inspired by the early looks we had at Elden Ring, with a red-haired protagonist, spirit companions, a mount that looks like Yakul and a bit like Torrent, and a few other hidden details.
Yeah, yo, exclamation point Vaati in chat.
And all of my other prints are now available over at Spring, where you can actually buy them fully framed and ready to hang. They actually ship with a beautiful frame. The
Inspired
frame
by?
Is a nice black satin finish, and you can even opt for a white border around the print, which I think looks
border,
really classy
full art?
in certain cases. I think these posters are a cool way to support the channel and artists, and for you to actually get something in return that will make your room
What do you
look
mean?
better.
You gave us so much, Vaati. You gave us this. This is art. This is understanding. This is first grade understanding of a master's level lore thesis.
So check out my prints if you're interested, but this is the end, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Well, thank you, Vaati. Man, check out Vaati's channel. Upvotes to the left. Man. That's a lot going on, chat. That's a lot going on, but we like it. Look, we're not going to watch any more today, but in the near future, stay tuned. Prepare to cry. Lore of every boss. Fascinating discoveries. It's difficult. 15 secrets. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Thanks to Vaati for giving us permission to watch that stuff. But now, ladies and gentlemen, in case you forgot, starting on Monday, how do you get out of jail cell made completely out of Melania, standing in between you and the Cuphead DLC, one R1 poke at a time, you know? Get out of here! It's over! It's over! It's over! Chat. Got a great week of shows coming up next week. We will not be playing Elden Ring. Maybe we'll make our character though.